And now that I'm looking at it, I'm not sure how we're going to work around this today, but because it's very odd, the assortment, a lot of lip products, a good amount of Merit. Maybe we'll just kind of swatch stuff and then go from there. I also have some stuff that didn't come from the Sephora sale, but I haven't utilized it yet, at least not on video, like the new Adeptcosmetics Emo palette. So we're going to try that. So yeah, there's a few other things that I picked up fragrance-wise, but the bulk of it we'll look at today. If that sounds good to you and you can deal with the redness that's all over my face, well then like, subscribe, follow along, shop my leaks, unsolicited advice on Instagram and on YouTube. So for those paying attention, I think I just had a little bit of a stroke. Well, anyway. I'm going to start with, this is not new, but it is something that I use frequently because I really enjoy it. And it's the YSL Touche Eclat primer. It's a good, basic, very nice, slippy primer. And so I'm going to start with that all over. I got, I didn't get any like new eyeshadow palettes or anything. I did recently pick up the new Prada palettes. Those are available at the Sephora sale. I definitely would recommend like numbers 8 and 9. 7 is too light for me. If you're lighter than me, I think you would really enjoy it. Do we want those lights on in the back? Let there be light. So I did get a refill of the Rare Beauty Always an Optimist eyeshadow primer because the one I had been using I think was probably about 2 years old. Okay, I can already tell putting this on this feels far superior than that one did, so I guess that's a sign that every so often you probably should consider, you know, replacing things. I'm gonna put this down. And since we're using a new Adept palette today, I think we'll probably do the eyeshadow first before the face because they're very sparkly in this new Emo palette. You know, they came out with one earlier this year, the Minka 2, and I saw they're coming out with Seahorse 2, which was a popular one of theirs from a few years ago. But this Emo is a really beautiful, like, springy color story. You can get some grays, some greens, some purples, blues. So I think that'll be cool. We can do 2 looks with that today and kind of compare it to how it looks with some other new products. Another thing I picked up, I'm a big fan of the Benefit Precisely My Brow. And I do have a backup of that. But I wanted to try the Merit 1990 brow pencil. I've heard really good things about it, if I don't lose the cap. So let's draw this on. Okay, that is a super fine point. I don't know if it's finer or about the same as the Benefit one, but seems to work about the same. I can't speak to the longevity. The thing I like about the Benefit one is that I can get really fine and detailed. And that seems to be something that can be accomplished with this one too. So no complaints there. I don't know which one is more reasonably priced. I'm just going to use the little spoolie and brush that through. So let's see. The new Adept palette. I've got my primer down, so I'm going to go in with kind of a fluffy brush and the color Pear. This is on a Refer Shoto 4. Pear is a sagey green color. And I'll put that in the crease. It's a pretty color. You don't really see colors like this that often. it's not really a pastel. It's like a desaturated, it's almost like a celery green or a sage green. It's really pretty. My bathroom walls at my house I recently sold were this color. Ooh, so I have life updates. So a couple of weeks ago, I'm going to go in with blackened brown on the outer, and not a ton of it. It's a dark color. It's kind of a, well, it's a blacky brown color. Groundbreaking. So a couple of weeks ago, 3:30 in the morning, I'm asleep and my phone starts going nuts. And of course you think, oh my God, someone's dead, or, you know, best friend's in trouble, something. And I'll darken that up a little bit. And I noticed that it was the GPS that's in my car. Now, when I moved here to Oklahoma City, I put a GPS tracker in my car, my little Hyundai. I'm going to go in with more of that pear. And I did it because, you know, I was moving to a larger city and I just thought it would be a smart thing to do. Kind of glad I did. So anyway, I hear this going off at 3:30 in the morning. I'm confused. I think, oh God, maybe I parked in a tow zone. I go downstairs. I cannot find my car. So I look around, and in the area where I believe I parked it is glass. Never a good sign. So I get on my little app, and it shows that my car is moving, and I am not in it, which is a very strange feeling to have. I'm going to grab my Intensify wand. I didn't get one during the Sephora sale, but I buy these all the time. They're one of my favorite, most used products. So I call 911 and, oh, got a little bit of a shard there of something. I don't know what happened there. Huh. I call 911 and for about 15 minutes, we are on the phone and I am walking them through block by block where my car is at. And they are getting police there. I'm going to go in with Dormant, which is a beautiful green, kind of goldy color, very metallic. Reminds me a little bit of like a Terra Moon shade that I really like. I can't remember the name of it. It's a very popular Terra Moon shade. So I'm on the phone with them for about 15 minutes and I'm telling them they're at this corner, they're at this corner, they're at this corner. Well, eventually, now, of course, I wasn't there, so I only know what the police told me, but they got these people cornered with about 15 police cars, and I guess the driver who had stolen my car, there were 3 of them in there, decided that he was going to make a beeline for it and went right into the police car at 90 miles an hour. So my car caught on fire. The engine flew out on the ground, drugged, that's what caught on fire, hit the police car. My car and the police car were totaled. 3 people in the car. The one in the back seat ran. They were able to catch him eventually. The 2 in the front seat were 12, and the one in the back seat was 11. I'm going to go in with the color Allure, which is another green with kind of a pinky shift on the front portion of this. So that really freaked me out, and that has really been taking the bulk of my time in the past couple of weeks. You know, first getting a rental car. It was during spring break, so there were no rental cars to have. And then picking out a new vehicle. Insurance was very easy to work with, and they were, you know, very understanding of what happened. But it was crazy. So that's that look so far. I love that minty kind of sagey green color. So what I'm going to do is hop over to the other eye now. And there's some beautiful purples and blues in here. So I'm going to go in with the color Light Touch, which is a violety, purpley color. It's very pastel. So I ended up getting a new vehicle, and insurance was very helpful, but it was really traumatic, especially when moving to a new town, to have that happen. And there have been a number of very strange things that have happened since I moved here. But you feel so violated when something like that happens. Damn, that's pigmented. It doesn't look that pigmented in the thing. I'm going to go in with Storm, which is kind of a blue-gray color. I'll put the swatches in so you can see. It's a beautiful palette. I'm trying to keep both of these looks a little bit lighter. Springy. I don't want them to be overwhelmingly dark. Back in with my Intensify wand. So it feels really violating to have something like that happen. I can only imagine if it had been in my home. And I'm so glad that I had that GPS device, and I made sure that my new vehicle has one. But yeah, really, really crazy. I'm going to go in with the color Coal Dusk, which is a blue with multicolored sparkles. And I'm just going to put a little of it because, like I said, I don't want this to get too dark. This all over the lid for winter would be beautiful. And then I'm going to go in with MC1. Do I want to go with MC1 or another halo? Let's go in with MC1, which is the middle shade. It is a periwinkle blue with every color sparkle you can imagine in it. Rainbow sparkles. This is where Adept really shines, is these kind of shadows. But their mattes have really come a long way too. This would be two, if you're following along or whatever, this would be two great Easter looks that you could get out of this palette. I'm going to go in just a little bit more with kind of a little bit more of that Storm, just to meet up there. Like I said, don't want it to be too dark. Yeah, that looks nice. I'm sure the pictures will show the sparkles much more than the video can. So for my concealer, one that I recently picked up and is available at the Sephora sale. I didn't technically get it at the Sephora sale, but you certainly could. And it's the Givenchy Prisme Libre Skin Caring Concealer. So I'm just going to put a little of that under the eye before I do the under eye makeup. So yeah, that's been a little bit more excitement than perhaps I necessarily wanted. And I'm hoping tonight is different, but pretty much every night since that happened, I have woke up at 3:30 or 4 in the morning panicking, thinking I'm going to hear that siren go off again, which is really weird. My new boss has been so supportive and helpful, but yeah, that is not necessarily the welcoming party you want to a new town, but it is what it is. Okay, so I'm going to grab another smaller kind of fluffy brush. This is just a 01 mini, and I'm going to go in with that pear color again, and I'm just going to run that under the lid here. Under the lash line. Good grief. And then I'm going to grab a little of that Storm color. Excuse me, not Storm. Black into Brown. Losing it, just to mold the two in the outer corner. Storm would be pretty with this though, a blue and green look. but I wanted to keep this one mostly green. The other side is where I'm going to run Light Touch under it. That lavender color. And then Storm to match those two up. So that looks really nice. For the inner third on this eye, I'm going to grab the color Whisper, which is a very metallic-y, silvery white color. I guess it's more of a champagne. There's not much, there may be some silver sparkles, but it's not silvery. It's more of an off-white champagne color. And I'm going to run just a little of that under the tear duct area as well to brighten her up. You can also put a little bit under the brow. And then on the other side, I'm going to grab the color Backdraft, which is a super hot gold pink kind of shifty color. And I'm going to put that out here because I want this to be really bold. I normally would do a very bright, color on the inner corner, but I think doing this hot pink is going to be kind of cool with the blue and really stick out. And I'm going to carry that under a little bit. There's a lot of versatility in these newer Adept palettes. They get color stories really well, but they also get kind of like the new Pat McGrath palette, whatever you think of it. You can get 10 very different looks from it. So I'm really pleased with both of those. Do I want to do a full liner? I don't think so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab just a small 03 brush from Refer, and I'm going to grab that blackened brown on this eye and just run it along a little bit of the lash line and just wing it out a little bit. Like I said, these are supposed to be kind of like Eastery looks. Normally for like those Eastery looks, I do like the Natasha Denona pastel palette, but this is something kind of different that I do like. That looks nice. On the other one, I'll just grab that. Actually, there's a color in here called Deep Abyss. It's almost black. Maybe it has a tiny bit of blue in it. I'm going to run that along this line. Oh yeah, that's pretty. It's not like a jet black. You can tell it has a dark blue in it. Yeah. Pretty. We'll clean it up in a minute. So yeah, lots of excitement here. So I'm going to grab, also available now at Sephora, the Givenchy Prisme Libre Serum Foundation, which is a beautiful foundation. I'm going to put some of that on. I wear mine in the shade 2N, and it's a pretty good match. I also grabbed a replacement. I think that I've got 4 of these. Whenever they go on the Sephora sale, I pick them up, and it's the Merit foundation brush. I think it is my favorite everyday kind of foundation brush. I'm just going to pounce this on. It's a little bit light, but it'll be just fine because you'll see we've got lots of new products to try with it. And it does a nice job of covering that redness, which was so prominent when I started this video. Like up here on my forehead. Crazy. I guess it's the temperature change or something. I picked up like a peel, like a 2 to 3 month supply of a peel that was very highly recommended on their website. I'm going to try that maybe later today before I go to bed, because I've got a lot of dry old skin from the winter that needs to come off. And I've tried, but I have not had a great deal of luck getting it off and getting my skin to feel like it's a nice texture again. I've got a little bit more on my So I'm just going to pounce that on in those particularly red areas. It's a pretty foundation. It's very lightweight, very liquidy. I've done a video before where I compared it to the Dior Hydra Nude. I don't know which I prefer. They're both really beautiful. So I guess it's just personal preference. I know that Ulta has the Hydra Nude, so maybe if you have points at Ulta, you could use them for the Hydra Nude. Okay. That looks good. Maybe that pink makes me look a little bit sick, but I think it looks really good. Okay. So let's see. What else did I pick up? Oh, I know what we can use. So I picked up one of the new duos from Westman Atelier. This is the duo that is contour on one side and blush on the other. And this is Petal and Biscuit. Biscuit is my all-time favorite contour. I go through tons of them. I purchased a new one. So I wanted to see how it would look in a powder form. I did use it over the weekend. I really liked it. It's good to set the powder, or to set the cream if you want to have extra, color there. But it's such a beautiful neutral color. Like all things Westman Atelier, it's very expensive, but it blends like a dream. You can see I even grabbed too much there, and I'll be able to blend that out, because what I can do is kind of warm up the areas where that foundation was a little bit too light. And I think that area right there might just be a little dark, but with the foundation brush, you can clean that right up. And that's really because my brush was still a little damp from cleaning, and whenever you use a damper brush, it picks up product and it can be a little bit uneven. But I can swear to you, after using this over the weekend when I went to visit my best friend, there's nothing uneven about it. I mean, it's a beautiful, very expensive, but beautifully consistent product with a very neutral base. It is the powder version of Biscuit, which I think there's no contour that beats that. So there also is the color Petal. I'm going to go ahead and swatch that for you. Actually, I'll swatch both so you can see them. They're very neutral, and when they're blended out, they look just like the stick products, because Petal, the pink color, is also a very popular Westman Atelier blush stick. They also have it in lipstick. They have it in lip gloss. It's a very popular color. But I have some new products that I wanted to try today that I haven't tried before as far as blush is concerned. But before we go any further, I think we have to try what I am guessing is going to be the best-selling item during this Sephora sale. I'm going to first make sure that I have no creasing. And that is Givenchy has released a pressed powder version of the loose powder that they used to have, that they reformulated, that nobody seems to like as much. The old one I loved, the loose powder, but it had talc in it. They reformulated it, and however they reformulated it, they made it kind of shiny. People don't like that. So now they've come out with 4 or 5 variations or shades of what's supposed to be very reminiscent of their old product. This doesn't have talc in it either, but it's matte. So you can see it's got the beautiful packaging, the little emblem, and then I don't know how you get this open per se. Okay. Am I missing something? Is it a button? Is it, do you push it? Okay, so the little button, you don't slide it, you don't pull it down, you just push it. And you see it comes with a little brush. It's actually a good brush, and it's magnetic, so it snaps in there really well. Normally, you know, I hate these kind of brushes, but this one actually fits properly and doesn't go flopping everywhere. And then when you open it, you can see that it has that pattern of mixing the colors. So I'm actually just gonna use the brush they have. It's super fine. And I'm going to set the under eye here. It looks very much matte and very much like the original. Perhaps more pigmented, but that's because it's pressed, I think. So you just want to be careful to use the light hand. I'm going to put it and see, because the power of the original was that it could blur pores, and I always have big pores in this area, so I'm going to see how it does. Yeah, that's very reminiscent of the original. It blurs those pores. The thing that made the Givenchy powder such a favorite for people was that it almost was like a filter. And if I just put it in my T-zone and over the areas where I can even see like the pores on my nose going away. Which is really nice. I mean, that does look like a filter. This brush actually works pretty nice for it. I wouldn't use a puff like you would with the loose powder. You would pick up, I think, too much product. But I love the way it snaps back in there. That's a really good product. Okay, so I did pick up some new blushes outside of that one from Westman Atelier, which is beautiful. I showed you the color. And I also picked up the Westman Atelier bronzing drops. Now, I've already tried these before in a video, so I'm not going to try them today, but these are a lovely product. I'm going to go in with... Okay, so I have two new blushes. One is a new YSL. Well, it's new to America. It's been in the rest of the world, but it is in color 6, and it is kind of a peachy pink nude color. It came out just in time for the sale. So that's going to be nice. And then the other one I picked up is because of Alicia Archer, Kinky Sweat. I've never found these Givenchy blushes. I always thought, who would want to use those? But she was talking about how much she really enjoyed this one, which is shade Flanelle Rubis, shade 6. I think it's going to be too red for the look today. It'd probably be really pretty in the fall. But I do want to see kind of what it looks like. I think that these are kind of the prospect of a loose blush sounds like a mess waiting to happen, but they do have 6 really beautiful colors, and I don't really have anything that's like this red. So I was interested when she pointed it out and said how pretty it was, and of course I saw her. She might be one of the best technical people to do this kind of YouTube thing. She really gets it. I love a lot of people. I love Patty Alonso. I love Charlotte Holcroft. I love Tanaya. I love Jacqueline. You know, Not Fit for Print Beauty is really good. But God, that Alicia, she really gets it. So this is one of those where you just kind of tap it and it kind of mixes the shades together, and then a little bit comes on here, and that looks like quite a bit actually. But I'm gonna just kind of see if I can get some of that. You can see it picks up a good amount, so I'm gonna work it into the brush on the back of my hand and see how it goes. Like I said, I probably would use more of a pink with this green eye, but I think you can see here that it looks really pretty. It's not overwhelmingly red. Obviously, if I wanted to keep going, I could really build this up. But it is a beautiful airbrushed look you get with a loose product like this. I think that's really nice. I'm glad I tried it. I don't know that I'll necessarily get more of these. They are kind of messy, like any kind of loose powder. But you can't beat that airbrush look you get with it. They're kind of a hard little fucker to close. Am I missing something? Don't answer that. Don't be rude. You're on my channel. You're one of the 8 people who watches me. Don't be mean. Okay. So that was I'm pleased with that. I think it looks really pretty. Other side, we're going to try that YSL. So this is in, like I said, shade 6. I think it's called Rose Haze. And I'm going to pick up, it's more muted than this one. It's kind of a peach color. This actually goes really well, and it would go well with both of these looks. Both of these eye looks, because it's a great, like, nude spring color. I love their traditional, what's it called, nude lavalier or whatever. This would be pretty with that. I think that's probably YSL's best-selling shade. This is really pretty. This one's more red, obviously, but they're both really nice. Obviously, you get a lot more pigment out of this one because it's loose. Okay. So, oh shit, I forgot my little puff from the Givenchy, and now I'm going to have to open this up again and see little flecks go everywhere. That's the downside. Like, it's a beautiful product, but kind of a mess. Okay, so I picked up some lip products. I guess before we go any further, I'm going to put some mascara on. So I just have my Lisa Eldridge Kitten Lash, which is not at Sephora, but it's still a beautiful product. So I'm going to throw the black on real quick. I used the brown one over the weekend. It does a beautiful job of like fanning your lashes out and making them look, well, really fanned out. Like, it's not a heavy looking mascara, but you can, if you put 2 or 3 layers of it, get something that, you know, is obviously very bold. But I've never had a mascara that makes them look that kind of fanned out. It's a very elegant product. Okay. So I have kind of a litany of lip products to try today. I don't know how to do this. I think what I'm going to do is show you the new products I have that are non-merit first, and then we'll go over and go to the merit ones. So the first one I picked up was actually just part of the last Lisa sale at Lisa Eldridge, and it is her Velvet Muse lipstick. What color is this? Oh dear God. Well, I'll tag it down below. But I've never tried one of hers before, and so I just wanted to see how they look. You can see it's kind of a rosewood color. Feels really comfortable for a velvety kind of matte. So that was number 1 product. I guess we can take that off so I can show you. I went ham on the lips. Mostly because of merit. Because they had the new liners and the new glosses, so I wanted to try them. I did get my very first Gucci lipstick. I've never tried Gucci before, but there was something about this packaging that sucked me in. This is in there. What color is this? 509. So I just wanted to show it. It is like a signature red. I'll show you real quick. That is a red. It obviously needs a liner, like a Pat McGrath, but you can see that's a beautiful kind of cool tone red that very much goes with the color of the container. I'm pleased about that. It's kind of a satin. The other things I picked up were two glosses. One from Pat McGrath, which I always say don't get them from Sephora. Get it on Pat's site because she does better sales. But I just wanted to try it and see. And this is in Bronze Venus. I do not believe this is a new color by any stretch, but it is new in her new Candy Crush collaboration. So I'm going to do that over here. It's a pretty bronzy, it's got like hot pink kind of sparkles in it. And on the other side, also I don't believe a brand new color, but a beautiful color, is the Fenty Beauty in Rose Amber. And I'm going to put that over here. And they're actually kind of similar, although the Rose Amber is cooler toned and darker. But you can see they have a similar effect. This one's just darker and cooler toned than the Pat McGrath one, but they both have that kind of sparkle. This one's got more kind of browns and blue, purpley kind of sparkles. This one's got more like hot pink and gold sparkles. It even looks like it might have a little bit of green in it. They're both really nice, but like I said, the bulk of what I got was from Merit, so that's what we're going to try today. Okay. So Merit has come out with these new semi-sheer liners. They can be used as lipsticks. They can be used as liners. They're not going to give you like a precise liner. They're more something that's kind of easygoing, and it's supposed to be more sheer. So I picked up a few of them. I'm going to show you today if I can read them. God help me. Yeah. This is not going to go well. Okay, this is Tabac. Let me clean that, a little bit of that blush off, because I want you to get an ideal, look at the different colors. I obviously did not get all of them. I don't need them all, but I did want to try a variety of them. So this first one is called Tabac. And it is just a very nude brownie kind of color, tan, certainly not it's kind of like more of a contour shade. It kind of reminds me of Biscuit from Westman Atelier, but in a lip liner form, so that's really cool. Then we have the color Can Wayne Reed. I believe that this is in Bespoke. So that's going to be next. It is lighter and more neutral. It's the second one down, but those are very close. The first one just has a little bit more pigment, I think, and is perhaps a tad cooler. The next one is in the color Beverly Hills, which is a signature color for them. I believe they have a blush, they have a lipstick. And it is a soft, kind of nudie pink color. And that's the third one down. So it's got just a little bit of pink. You see none of these are like super bold. The next one I have is in the color Mayfair, which appears to be kind of a darkish colored rose color. Yeah, that's definitely the boldest so far, and definitely the most rosy color. Very pretty. Very pretty. And finally, I have Coupe, which I believe is kind of a, it's kind of a mauve. So the one before it is a little cooler. This one's kind of a mix between the Beverly Hills and that last one. So those are more pink. This is more, kind of mauves. This is more pink. And then these are more neutral. They're all very pretty. And they can be fanned out to be very light. Now, they also came out with some new lip oils. And they also came out with lipsticks. Now, all of these lipsticks I did not get during the sale, but I just pulled some of the ones I already have. I did pick up 1990 and Slip during the sale, but I had 4 other ones. But I wanted to show you how they compare color-wise so you might know. So this is 1990, which is supposed to be their, you know, yeah, that's that very greasy brown color. You can imagine that with a lip liner, like a MAC lip liner from the 90s. The next one is Slip, which is a little bit lighter and a little bit more neutral. Kind of a nude caramel. And then there's Baby. What is... Okay, that doesn't please me. It appears like it perhaps melted into the lid a little bit. I am hoping... I don't believe this is one that I bought from the sale, so that's okay. It's probably my own doing then. But you can see it's more mauve-y. Then I have 3 older ones I was going to show you. This is Bespoke, which there is a liner to go with this. And this is a very pretty kind of... It's kind of like that first one, kind of like 1990, but it's a little bit warmer. And then there's Black Tie, which I believe is a holiday color, and I believe it's more of a maroon. Yeah, kind of like a currant color. Really pretty color. And then finally Du Jour, which I believe is one of the more semi-sheers. Yeah, and it's kind of a cool pink kind of color. So maybe that gives you an idea of some of the different shades they have and where they fall. Finally, they also came out with new lip oils, which are tinted lip oil balms. I did not get all of them, but I did pick up a few just for comparison's sake. So this first one is called Wayne Get Glasses. Motherfucker. Okay, this first one is called... Jesus. Okay, this is not right. I'm not this old. Okay. We have Pointe-a-Tell, which is a pink. Very pretty. We have... Fucking A. Twin Set, which is kind of a mauve-y. You can see they don't have a ton of color. They're not meant to do that. They're meant to work really well with the liners. Then this dark one here is called Tawny, maybe? Of course, I'm going to put them down below. It is a darker, deeper. And this last one, I could not read, but I'm going to do my best here. Blitteritz or Blitteritz. Again, I'll put it down below. You'll know when you see the names. But it's probably like the most neutral of them. So those are 4 of the lip oils. Really beautiful products. So to finish the look today, what I'll do... Let's see. I think I'm going to use that Blitteritz color and then one of the liners, perhaps one of the darker ones, so we can see the contrast. I believe the darkest one I have is this one called Tabac. So I'm just going to line, and you'll see there's not a ton of... They're not very precise. That's not what they're supposed to be. They're so soft and transparent, they could be used as a lipstick, but they're meant to kind of put on and then do this a little bit and then put one of the lip oils and be done, or the lipsticks, I guess, if you wanted to do that. They are not fully opaque. But you can build them up. I don't know if you can see that, but I am able to build it up a little bit. I like Merit. They have really nice products. Phone be buzzing. Okay, it's someone odd. Okay, it's someone asking me to pick them up at the airport. I don't know anyone traveling, and I've never been to the airport here, so I'm guessing that's a scam. I'm going to go in with that last one. I think it's called Beatrix or something. I'm going to go in. These are just, they've had lip oils before, but these are more of a high shine product. They work really well with those liners. They kind of blend the liners out a little bit. If I really wanted it to be pronounced, I could go back in there with that liner. But I like what it's doing there. Look how shiny and pretty that is. They're kind of like your lips, but better. Which is kind of Merit's philosophy. So, bunch of new products. I apologize that there's no rhyme or reason with some of them, but I just wanted to try them, and maybe they were in your basket and you wanted to compare. I'm sure that Givenchy stuff is in your basket. It's in a lot of people's baskets, and I'm sure some of this Merit stuff is in there too. Maybe even that new Gucci lipstick, which is very bougie. But God, that packaging is beautiful. So if you liked this, if you like this kind of content, then please like, subscribe, follow along. Unsolicited I Have Ice, YouTube and Instagram. Shop my links. It helps my channel. They're affiliate, but they don't cost you anything. I'm not coming to the damn airport. I don't know who you are. It's good to see you all. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.